You know that moment, right? It's 9 p.m., you're standing in front of the pantry, and you're losing a battle you never even really wanted to fight. Well, today we're going to break that exact moment down. We're going to reframe those late-night cravings not as some kind of moral failure, but as what they really are, a solvable engineering problem. And it has a clear protocol.
So let's ask the big question. Why does this happen? Why do those cravings at the end of the day feel so completely, overwhelmingly powerful? It feels like a glitch in our own programming, doesn't it? But what if I told you it's not a bug, it's a feature?
Okay, let's get right into it. The answer is surprisingly simple, and it has nothing to do with your character. It's because your cognitive resources are just gone. After a whole day of meetings, deadlines, and 1,000 tiny little decisions, your executive function, think of it as your decision-making battery, is basically on life support. You are running on fuels. And this, right here, is the absolute key to everything. That struggle you feel, it is not a lack of willpower. It's a hardware limitation. You're trying to run complex software on a totally dead battery. It's a mechanical issue, which is actually great news because it means it has an engineered solution.
So let's start with a proper diagnosis. We're going to call this predictable system failure the 9 p.m. breach. It's exactly what happens when any system under sustained load just defaults to the path of least resistance.
The science behind this is a concept called ego depletion. Just think of it like your phone battery, but for self-control and focus. Every single choice you make all day, from choosing a salad for lunch to just ignoring a distracting email, it all draws down this one finite battery. And when that battery gets low, your brain does something really smart. It initiates a mandatory power shift. It takes control away from your slow, deliberate, energy-guzzling brain, that's System 2, and hands the keys over to your fast, automatic, low-energy survival brain, System 1. And listen, this isn't a choice. It's a brilliant energy-saving protocol hardwired into us. So, what really happens when this low battery mode kicks in? Let's get into the mechanics of how your brain actually makes decisions when its only goal is to conserve energy.
On the left, you can see the snag. This is trying to apply more willpower, which of course just drains the battery even faster and guarantees a failure. But on the right, you see the upgrade, a smartly engineered pathway that bypasses the need for willpower altogether.
Now, what's really fascinating is this idea called the activation energy gap. Think about it. The healthy choice, cutting up some fruit, getting out the yogurt, involves a whole bunch of micro decisions. For a tired brain, that's like being asked to climb a mountain. But opening a box of cookies, that's one simple step. Your brain is an efficiency machine, so it's always going to choose the path of least resistance. It's just physics.
Okay, enough about the problem. Let's start building the solution. And the first upgrade isn't about changing you, it's about changing your environment to make the right choice the easiest possible choice.
And the way we do that is by moving from a high-friction grid, where everything is messy and hard to find, to a pre-configured arsenal zone. Here, everything you need is visible, it's accessible, and it's totally ready to go. You eliminate the cognitive load before the craving even has a chance to show up. So here's the actual protocol. It's a simple, one-time setup. That's it. Step 1, you establish your arsenal zone. Step 2, you fill it with the core components for making these smart sweets. And step 3, this is so important, you optimize for retrieval. That means no annoying bags, no clips, just clear, easy twist-off containers. You are literally automating your own success.
Okay, once your environment is dialed in, we can move on to the advanced upgrades. This is where things get really cool. This is where we stop just managing our choices and start actively engineering our own sensory perception. Welcome to the physics of fullness.
So let's start with an incredible biohack called thermogustation. Now the science is just fascinating. It turns out the little ion channels on your tongue that perceive sweetness are incredibly sensitive to temperature. Warmth acts as a literal force multiplier for how sweet something tastes.
I mean, this slide just says it all. At cold temperatures, that channel is basically asleep. It blunts the sweet signal. But when you warm it up, it becomes fully activated. You get an intensely sweet signal with way less sweetener. We're not just changing the food, we're hacking the receptor itself.
And here's the perfect real-world application. A warm, delicious 3-minute mug cake. A quick 90-second cycle in the microwave brings it to that peak activation temperature, and all of a sudden the healthy, engineered option is faster, easier, and frankly, tastes better than the old junk food. It just became the new path of least resistance.
Now, let's engineer the feeling of fullness itself. This involves something called hydrocolloid rheology. It sounds complicated, but it's really just the science of using tiny amounts of things like xanthan gum to control water. You can create massive volume and the physical sensation of fullness with almost 0 calories.
This diagram really shows the payoff. A typical low-cal dessert, the snag, is thin and watery. It just passes right through your stomach, providing no fullness signal. But the high-viscosity upgrade physically stretches the stomach, which activates the receptors that send that powerful, "hey, we're full down here," signal to your brain.
Okay, the final piece of the puzzle is the software. We've engineered the environment, we've engineered the food itself. Now we need to install a resilient psychological operating system that governs how we respond when things don't go perfectly.
And to do that, we have to defeat the what the hell effect. We've all been there, right? It's that cognitive distortion where one little slip-up, like one brownie, is seen as a total failure, which then triggers a massive binge. You think, what the hell, I already blew it. The initial mistake isn't the problem. It's how our mental software interprets it.
This means we have to ditch the old system of rigid restraint. It's brittle, it's fragile, and it's designed to fail. We're going to install a new system, add, don't subtract. Instead of forbidding foods, we simply focus on adding an upgrade. This creates a flexible, resilient loop that can handle errors and keep you on track.
So let's just bring it all together. This is your new biological operating system. Step 1, diagnose your own system's unique failure points. Step 2, engineer your environment for 0 friction. Step 3, hack your senses with heat and physics. And finally, Step 4, install that resilient psychological framework.
You know, the biggest point here is that this whole protocol is really a shift in mindset. It's about moving away from that brittle, shame-based world of willpower and restriction and instead stepping into the role of an engineer. A system that defines success as the complete absence of failure is a system that's designed to fail. The real upgrade is realizing you have the power to stop dieting and start architecting